All right, this is Chris Goldsmith with MLLfans.com. I'm talking with Matt Brown, attacker for the Denver Outlaws, former star and current assistant coach at the University of Denver. How are you doing today, Matt?
Doing good. Just spent some time in beautiful Long Island here before going to the Empire State Trials tonight.
All right, you want to talk a little bit about the trials?
Yeah, I went downtown yesterday, flew in from Denver, and went out last night to the Suffolk County Trials of Rising Seniors, and it's a pretty good town. So a lot of college coaches in attendance, and made for a good event.
All right, cool. So you got your first matchup against the Chesapeake Bayhawks coming up. They're 4-1. You guys are at 3-2. What kind of game can the fans expect to see?
This is a huge game for us. The Bayhawks have really improved over the last couple of years, and they've got a lot of offensive power right now. And I watched a couple of their games on that ESPN3 online, and they're really quick. And so it's a big challenge for us, but I think we're up for it. I think last weekend was kind of a step backwards for our team. We played two solid quarters of lacrosse, and then kind of died down in the second half. And so we definitely need to pick up our game. We need to improve. But I think you're going to see a high-scoring game, and our whole goal is just to try to shut down Kyle Dixon and not let him get any more two-pointers.
Yeah, he's definitely on a roll, just like last year.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. He's a great player.
Well, he might be a big offensive force, but I've got a question for you. Is there any defender in the league that you know is going to be trouble going into any game, or how do you prepare for that kind of player?
I don't really look at individual defenders and say he's going to be trouble for me or for Brendan or for Drew. I kind of look at it overall team defense. A lot of the stuff that I do is more off ball and trying to catch guys ball watching a little bit and sneak into gaps and holes and play with great teammates that are able to get to the ball. So, this Bayhawks team as a whole is a sound, very well coached, sound defense, and it's going to be tough for us to get the ball inside and draw slides and make things happen. But that's our ultimate goal is that we want hard dodges that end up with ball movement. And when we do that type of stuff, we start clicking, we start flowing as an offense.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about your college career. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Basically, you led the Pioneers in all 4 years that you were at DU. What were some of the keys to your success at the collegiate level?
I played with a great group of guys. We had a great face-off guy in Scott Davidson who, it was at least one or two a game would pop the ball with a plunger forward off a face-off and get fast breaks, and he would constantly be looking for me on the low left spot. So playing with guys like him and guys like Greer Hanlon that were very, very good in the midfield of drawing slides and always had their head up. So, a great group of guys. We played, when I was at Denver, we played a fast tempo, a high octane style of offense where we were constantly pushing the ball, and we had a ton of transition, and that was a lot of fun to play. And like I said, I had great guys around me.
It sounded like you had a lot of fun. You wrote an article for Lax News called Matt Brown on Shooting, and you described getting recruited to the University of Denver as one of the best things that's ever happened to you. Why was that so special?
I think just being a guy from Western Canada, growing up just in Burnaby, British Columbia, getting an opportunity to come down to the United States and get a fantastic education from the University of Denver, and being able to play the sport you love for 4 years, day in and day out, and in the locker room with 40 guys that, a couple of them were in my wedding a couple of years ago, and some of them now are, starting to have kids, and, you're going to the baby showers,
Yeah.
That was a special 4 years, and so, I'm very grateful for getting that opportunity, and, I met my wife my senior year in college, so that was another bonus, and, it's just a fantastic experience.
That's great. So let me ask you, what was the recruiting process like, and do you have any advice for aspiring high school players who want to play at the college level?
Well, my recruiting process is a little bit different than the way it is now. My recruiting process, it was like February of my senior year, and didn't go to any camps, didn't go to any showcases in the States, just played box lacrosse growing up, really didn't play much field lacrosse, and one day coming home from working at a local grocery store, I said, you know what, I want to try to give this a shot. Obviously, Gary Gate and Paul Gate, being from Western Canada, were two of my idols growing up, and knew that they went to Syracuse, and didn't know much about college lacrosse other than, Syracuse was the place that I wanted to go. So came home one day and just sent out an email blast to every single lacrosse program I could find. I didn't know if it was Division 1, 2, or 3. I didn't care. I wanted to send some email out there, and within half an hour, Coach Monroe from Denver got back to me and started that relationship. And so my experience, my recruiting process was completely different. It happened really late, and it was kind of just me reaching out to guys. The recruiting process these days is that it's a tough recruiting process. There's so many kids out there now playing, and there's so many of these recruiting events to go to, and it's tough to watch everybody play, and now it's even happening even sooner. You've got guys that are just starting their junior year in September that are verbally committing to some of these big programs, and it's tough because the kid, he hasn't even played his junior year in high school lacrosse, so you don't know how he's going to progress, how he's going to develop. So the whole recruiting process has definitely changed since I've been recruited, and but it's I think what it's doing now, because there's so many good players. I think you saw it this year with the parity in Division 1 that there used to be where there's only like 8 teams fighting for that championship every year, but now you got like 25 teams that are every year that are competing to not only get into the NCAA tournament, but you saw it this year with a couple big upsets, and so I think that's great for the sport, and I think it's going to even move more in that direction.
Speaking of it being great for the